Welcome to SecureKloud Technologies, where innovation meets digital transformation.
Well, guys, it's a very good morning to everyone present here, and thank you for joining. We welcome you to SecureKloud's webinar here, and we are very pleased that you took time from your busy schedule and got in here. So before we begin, let's look at what SecureKloud offers on a very brief note. Secure Cloud is basically your go-to platform, cloud expert platform, where we have been helping businesses for more than a decade to safely move to cloud, and our solutions and products make sure that everyone is safe and sound in for all the enterprises. And we have worked around various companies worldwide, and also we try to be at pace with the latest trends and technologies that are up there in cloud technology, AI, machine learning. So, if you are looking for something to make the most out of cloud, we are your, go-to team here. And moving straight to the webinar, we'll be discussing how, AI and machine learning are transforming various industries. And we are, pleased to have you join us today for this exciting exploration on the topic, the future of technology. And we'll be joined by two esteemed professionals who will share the insights and experiences. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Venkat, the Chief Revenue Officer at Secure Cloud, who leads the entire revenue for Secure Cloud, and is a professional responsible to drive large teams and companies. Joining him is Jayakumar Karupasamy, the Chief Technology Officer at Secure Cloud, who leads the entire product domain for Secure Cloud, and we are really pleased to have you as well. We look forward to hear from our experts to discuss these latest trends, challenges, opportunities that the field of AI and machine learning is offering. And we also have a Q&A session where you can will address the queries that you can drop as we go through the entire session, and we'll address them at the end of it. And without further delay, let's start this session. So it's over to you, Venkat. All yours.
Hey, thanks a lot, Sudipta. Good morning, everyone. Thanks once again for taking time to join this webinar. I know that it's mid of the week, midst of all your busy schedules. You guys have taken time. That obviously also is a resonating factor what technology is doing to all of us in our daily walks of life. Before I move in to the webinar, warm festive greetings to all of you, and also advanced Diwali wishes as well. And I hope that the festive season brings in all luck, all prosperity for all of you and all of us as well. Right. Having said that, Secure Cloud has been pioneer in cloud transformation for over 2 decades. We at Secure Cloud, as a technology giant, are constantly in the lookout for innovation and be early movers in helping enterprises to adapt to latest technologies, be it cloud, be it artificial intelligence, be it machine learning, and be it SaaS as well. We have built some phenomenal products rather over a period of time. And in that endeavor, I think I feel the time is right for all of us to kind of slightly explore, slightly mull over as to what's happening from a technology standpoint, right? And what's evolving technology, what's evolving in the market, and how people are embracing it, how enterprises are embracing it as well. In that endeavor, without much ado, I would like to hand it over to Jaykumar, who's our Chief Technology Officer. I think when we were mulling about this webinar, we were thinking that should we get some of the customer CIOs, should be getting some of our customer CTOs as well, while we are going to get it in the subsequent webinars as we do. But however, we thought that who's the best? I think the best is who's building a product currently for Secure Cloud technology. So Jaykumar leads that initiative globally. And I'm going to hand it over to Jaykumar. Hi, Mr. Jaykumar. Welcome in for this wonderful webinar. See, as you know, Jaykumar, I think AI and ML is the most sought after topic today across every walk of life. Be it the personal life that we do. And I was just cracking a joke to my wife today morning. She said I sounded like Kishore Kumar. So and then I told her, you know what, that's defect, right? So we know that there are advantages and disadvantages as well from a technology perspective. What I wanted to understand from you is just a session just a kind of a brainstorming session from your side to answer what do you see AI ML impacting today in walks of life, and what do you feel industries are getting benefited out of it?
Thanks, Venkat. Thanks, Sudipta, and good morning to all of you. I'm happy to be part of this webinar and share my thoughts on AI and ML. So the AI is going to have a tremendous impact, and the recent generative AI, large language models, the impact is going to be enormous. What we need to understand is technology has been constantly changing, and we've been adapting to the changes. Uh, you know, let's little bit understand the driving factors. We all are in a competitive world. The competitive is basically the ability to outperform your competitors for a sustained growth. Now, what are we expecting? Whenever there is a technology transformation, technology changes, new modern technologies are coming in, we are looking for efficiency. We want to see that we can do more, we can do faster, and we want to see that the issues are less, defectless products, and less errors. Could be data entry error can be reduced, or on the other, a product manufacturing company, when they are manufacturing, you are able to identify the defects. Similarly, we all want to cut down the cost. We want to see that the expenses are cut down, and then bring down the cost, and then give the benefit to the customer to stay competitive. And then we also want to see, we give a very good experience to our customer. Customer experience is of important factor. And as we grow, right, when the company grows, we want to see that we are scalable. And if we want to be scalable, we have to go in for modern technologies cloud computing, data engineering, data warehouse, data analytics, and so many other stuff out there. Equally important is we want to make sure we are not affected by there are several risks out there. We want to make sure if there are any risks, we want to identify the risks. We want to see that we are able to forecast. We are able to do the predictions. We make sure all our data are safe. So from privacy or safety perspective, again, we are looking for technology's help in order to make sure all our data are safe, and we give a very good service to our customers. Now, we see this happening at various levels. If you want to see the impact, even smaller companies have started looking at AI now, and at the same time, compared to the other technologies, if you see, internet technology started in the 90s, and then made the information available for everyone. We were able to have instant connections, communication between all of us. And then we had the smartphones, and then nook and corners, everybody uses the smartphone today, even for small transactions.
India is the biggest market, by the way, Jay Kumar, right? For the smartphone. Absolutely. The tele density in India is the biggest in the world. Yeah, go ahead, Jay Kumar.
That's just the advantage, actually. We have the market, we are also the producers, actually. So then, in 2006, 2008, the cloud computing started, AWS started opening its services to public. Incidentally, around that time, SecureKloud started offering end-to-end solution on cloud computing. Now, you can see artificial intelligence. It's not it happened in the last few years or last decade. It had been actually there for several decades, actually. Now, why are we all of a sudden, talking more on AI? Is the recent happenings in the last few years, particularly the change that the ChatGPT has brought in. It has made the facility, the AI, available to everyone so easily.
Yeah.
And therefore, once prior to the ChatGPT, we should see before ChatGPT and after ChatGPT. That's how we are going to look. Before ChatGPT, AI was there, but it was limited to large organizations, enterprises, and technology companies.
Affordability was a problem as well, right?
But absolutely, affordability was a problem. affordability, in terms of availing the resources. You need to go in for GPUs or TPUs, costly infrastructure. And then even if you're affordable on that, it needs the specialized skills. You need skilled data scientists, a team of data scientists, and then you need lots and lots of data. Okay, you need to collect the data, clean up the data, you need to label the data. And then the training was a very big activity. Like it takes several hours to actually train a model. Sometimes it takes days, and it takes several weeks.
So in a way, what you're saying is it's not about a company adapting AI, but the entire periphery around that should change as well, right? You should have good talent and skill set to hire. You should obviously have the technology supporting internally, outside the periphery and within the periphery as well. I think it's quite interesting, Jaikumar. What are you talking about? Just go ahead, Jaikumar.
Sure. So the training process was very lengthy, and after weeks and weeks of running the training and creating a model, then you need to do hyper tuning. You need to change the parameters. Again, run it for several weeks. So all those things have dramatically changed now. The expenses have come down. GPUs are available, CPUs are available, HPCs are available, and then on demand, the resources are available. That's the beauty of it. If it is going to be on premise and you need to buy in a server, then you start thinking 5 years, 3 years, how long it's going to be there by the time there are going to be new infrastructure and so many other things out there. So on demand, the computing power has enabled, lots and lots of small and medium organizations to get into AI.
Got it. Thanks, Jaikumar. I think, sorry to interject, right? I think what you're saying is really resonating, right? Because as sales team, we go and visit customers, right? When we go and visit customers, the first question that comes to our table is, "Hey, guys, are you building something on AI? Right? Are you building something closer to AI? Do you have any solution where you can deploy AI for me?" I think in a way, it's really, really clear that organizations want to embrace AI and also want to really do it pretty very quickly. As we speak, just some idea from your side on what are you seeing? Because obviously you, me, and the entire team are talking every day. But I think hearing it from your side of, while we know that AI is kicking in, AI is obviously the next thing. And I think my niece came in day before yesterday and said, "You know what, hey, uncle, I want to pick up a course. And do you advise me joining AI?" So AI is touching everybody's life now, right? Because they feel that's the future. But what I wanted to check with you, considering we are into a B2B industry, what are the industries that you feel have adapted or will adapt pretty quickly? And from a secure cloud standpoint, since you're building the products, which are those industries that you feel will quickly adapt and run towards it, JK?
Yeah. So obviously the technology companies, adopt the technologies first and make sure it works for them. So
like we have adopted we are a technology company. We've adopted AI in everything what we do today in our company. Go ahead.
For all our processes, we've automated so much of things. The managed services has been automated, and we've reduced the cost phenomenally. And we also apply the same FinOps to our customers. What? Because even for us, we want to make sure we are more efficient, and then we also cut down the cost, and then give the benefit to customers. So obviously we look for all the opportunities to reduce the cost and see things are running optimal on cloud. And therefore FinOps is one of the major services that we are also offering to our customers.
From an industry perspective,
yeah, from an industry perspective, other than technology industry, the BFSI, healthcare, logistics are some of the industries which are already into AI, and they have started using in several business use cases. Let's take interesting thing is the healthcare. Once when there were hesitations to get even to cloud, now they are into cloud, they are into lots of data engineering, data warehouses, and then there are interoperability, data gets exchanged between different entities, all in a very safe manner, and also applying AI. See, one of the things it could be a recommendation or suggestion also. When there is a hesitancy, right? What you try to do is you use it for yourself first, and then you try to avail it for your customers. So when organizations want to get into AI, right, one of the best thing you can apply it for your own operations, the backend operations. You can apply it and see the advantage, the benefits out of it, and then you can see that AI is taken to your customers. So from healthcare perspective, we've seen there are several use cases we have worked. For example, one of the things is intelligent document processing. In US, even today, there are lots and lots of faxes are being used. There are paper documents being used, scanned documents are used. In one particular case, a hospital actually receives close to 5,000 pages, 1,500 facsimile, which is coming 2 to 3 pages, 5,000 pages per day, close to 150,000 pages per month. And they actually had a team of people to actually look at these documents, classify the documents, and then go through the documents and find to which patient it belongs. It could be a lab result, it could be a lab order, it could be a doctor referral, so many other documents. And then they have to manually interpret by reading the documents, several pages. And then there will be a separate team, another team who will make use of the EHR. They'll have to attach these documents to the patient record. Now, what AI has done is completely automated it. Using the traditional machine learning plus the capability of a large language model has completely automated the thing. So what happens is as and when document comes, it automatically picks it, it automatically classifies, it understands the document, and it can pick the information and find out to which patient it belongs, when did the patient visit, to which encounter should it be attached to. And then also pushes the document through HL7 and then move it to the EHR software. So that's one visible benefit that the hospital is seeing using the AI and automation.
And having said that, Jaikumar, we know that SecureKloud Technologies has a leadership position in healthcare in US market, right? And I hope that we see that invasion of that technology into Indian and other markets as well. Because the biggest help that what you could do as a technology leader is to cut the time of people waiting to get the lab reports, people waiting in queue to see the doctors, right? So I hope that AI could be.
When we talk about US and hospitals, developed country and other things, manufacturing unit in Coimbatore, okay, they understand the importance of AI. And one of the interesting problem is and this can apply for several industries, and it is applying for many companies also. We all extensively use email, right? So this company in Coimbatore, right, they had a peculiar kind of problem. They manufacture products, and then they also dealers for other company products, OEMs and other things. So they receive lots and lots of emails, and then again there is a team of people working to look at the email and find out the emails which are basically the product inquiries, asking for quotation. And they, after looking at these emails, they'll have to go to multiple systems, go to their own ERP, find out the product information, catalog, find out the pricing, the delivery charge, everything. They prepare the quotation manually, and then goes for an approval. So the request was not to make things faster, but the request was they said our guys are getting bored actually, monotonously doing things, manual work, and then they are also doing lots and lots of other work. So over a period of time, they show interest on other things, not these things. So on one side, we can help to make things faster, And such activities can be actually removed from the staff, and they can be better doing other things. So
Interesting.
again, what we here, we used RPA, and then we also used AI there, and the email assistant, okay, sits on your email and just checks all the emails, and if it identifies a product inquiry, it tries to find out who is the customer. Is it an existing customer or a new customer? What product are they inquiring? Have they given it as a description or a part code directly? Picks up all the information,
Understood.
and then, on behalf of the staff, automatically goes and access the relevant systems, databases, creates an inquiry sheet, and then creates a quotation and also sends it to for approval.
Understood.
So we have the AI penetration at all levels. Interesting, in our own country, in our own state, in all this region, people are aware of AI. Yeah, so that's another example, which is on the manufacturing side. You can, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. And
Sure.
what we're also seeing is, I think as I shared this, I think since this is for the audience who have shared as well, right? So I think AI in a way is becoming industry agnostic, right? That means that it can be used anywhere, and if can be used in the personal life, I think there are use cases, tons and tons of use cases that can be used as well. One of the example that I can give you is that I met a banking customer last week in Bombay, right? They are big time into insurance sector, and they were talking to me about, Venkat, the solution that what SecureKloud has in terms of automating the KYC document, because there are tons and tons of document that's kind of flowing in, and assuming that the entire world is a customer for an insurance sector. I think look at the customer database, look at the amount of database that they have, and they're actually talking to me about our DocuEdge, which thanks to Jay Kumar and team, I think you guys have built a lovely product, which is DocuEdge, which is helping the enterprises automating the intelligent document processing as a kind of a flow, right? He was actually at the CIO was telling me, Venkat, I looked into your POC. It's amazing. And now they're going to implement that POC into the bank. And the bank is really renowned and very, very big in India. So we as sales guys are absolutely kicked about it. Because whenever there is a great product, it's easy to take it to the market and win the market as well. So thanks, JK, for the lovely insights in terms of industries. But from sales side, we're saying banking, we're seeing obviously also some of the large conglomerates where there are so many contracts, right? I don't want to name the company, but nevertheless, we're talking to a company in Chennai, which is the largest conglomerate, which builds bridges, dams, civil constructions, commercials, and so on and so forth. And there are so much of legal documents, right? It'll be with the government, with the individual, with the companies and stuff like that. And the DocuEdge, which kind of integrates all the contract management into one, I think it's awesome, and we've already won the account, and thanks to I think the technology what we have built, Jay Kumar. I think really lovely. So I think the takeaway from this is manufacturing, BFSI. BFSI is obviously big, so insurance, lending companies, wherever there are documentations, I think our solutions go ahead, and then hospitality, e-commerce, which is kicking in, transport logistics, which is also kicking in, where there is so much of documentation involved. I think thanks, Jay Kumar, for that phenomenal insight. I think, yeah, go ahead.
See, other than the documents, there are images, if you take a different kind of industry, for example, construction, right? I can give an example, the solar farm part of it. A use case where, the solar farms are usually on remote locations. And when customer wanted to monitor the progress, construction of a solar farm. So the solution is something like this, there are pilots who, fly the drones and then capture the images, two types of images, the normal photograph and then the thermal images. We have something called drone analytics. All this information, all this data what is captured is moved to cloud, and then the AI engine runs against it, and then it finds and tells us these are the places where the solar panels are already installed, and these are the places that are yet to be installed. As on date, so many solar panels have been completed, but only this much has been completed. So the photogrammetry or the object detection completely done through artificial intelligence. So that's something where the data is not the text, but the data is basically images, photographs. So AI is capable of detecting the objects and then constructions or even the monitoring. Suppose if there is a problem in a solar panel, from remote location, you can pinpoint that solar panel and assign a person. Hey, go and look at the so-and-so panel, there seems to be a damage. And the person who's sitting, near the location will go and rectify it.
Got it.
So the use cases are several. We talked about the text, we talked about the images. Similarly, the conversation. Take again, the healthcare, or even take call centers, or the service industry, customer service.
BPOs,
industry.
right? Basically.
We can do analytics based on the conversation. One of the major problems is in clinics or hospitals is when doctors are talking with the patient simultaneously, they are not able to feed the information in the EHR system, right? So when they try to enter the information, patient is not comfortable, then doctor is also not comfortable, not able to attend the patient.
I would not be comfortable if the doctor is not looking at me, right? No way he can look at the PC, he has to look at me, right? Got it.
It's a challenge everywhere, all over the world, right? So again, AI can play a role here. Okay, what we have done, capture the conversation, okay, and then extract the information. As there is a conversation already happening, you pick the name, you pick the age, you pick the gender, you pick what is the symptom reported by the patient, and what medicines they have taken in the past. There had been any patient history. Collect all the information. On one side, you speak to the patient. On the other side, the forms are automatically filled. And all the doctor has to do is just review it and then make minor changes to it and then submit. So dramatically, it reduces the data entry effort, which obviously should not be, the doctor should not be spending on it.
Got it. Thank you, Jaykumar. And also, I think one thing just to take a straw from your conversation and insight is all that moves around is obviously data, right? Data, as always, we say, is the next fuel. Is expensive, even expensive more than the fuel. I think the companies are interested in how we're going to safeguard, right? What's a guardrail from a data standpoint, and it's really lovely to see that we approach this problem holistically, right? Because of our HIPAA compliance, HITRUST compliance, and stuff like that, SecureKloud is in a position to not only deliver AI customized, stitched to the needs of a customer, but at the same time protect that environment as well from any cybersecurity attack. Because today data is vulnerable. Today everyone is vulnerable. Emails are going down. Things are getting hacked. Recently, we saw the entire airline industry coming down because of some attack that happened on a cybersecurity platform, right? So cybersecurity is also pretty important. So you want to talk about quickly, while I kind of covered a bit of a tidbit, but you want to talk about pretty quickly, what are we doing to ensure that the data is secure? Over to you, Jack.
Yeah, one of the major concern in AI is the risks that people are seeing on AI is how safe is it, and how accurate are the results. One is the accuracy. The other is with the recent invent of the generative AI, right? If the results are safe, so what is required is something called responsible AI. That starts right from the data and then till the results. What responsible AI says, the data that is being, obviously data is the one with which all the models are being created. Maybe ever the entire Wikipedia and lots of materials have gone inside the GPT kind of models. Close to 400, equivalent to 400 crores of books of information have gone into it. Now, when we are building such models, right, you need to ensure the data is correct. At the same time, have you taken the consent from the owner of the data? You just cannot pull in any data. You cannot have the, PII information in it, or the PHI information in it.
And we all know India has already passed a law on Data Privacy Act, right? So it's going to be even more, it's going to be even more critical for us to ensure that the data is kept in a solid custody, and also consent is taken as well. So go ahead, Jaykumar.
Consent is top priority. So there has to be a data governance has to be there. And then when the model is built, okay, there has to be an accountability. The person who has built the model has to take the accountability, right? Like, when even with the GPT or any other model, if you are going to use it, you have to prominently tell, like, hey, this is a AI generated result, okay? And sometimes it may give a wrong result. So the person who is using it should be clearly aware, like, what is he receiving on it yet.
Yeah.
And towards that, if you see, like, government has made initiatives, as you said, like, there are
DPDP. Yeah.
DPDP Act is there. And then, in the month of March this year, the government of India gave an advisory actually. When you are building a model, that has to be actually implemented, that has to get registered. And then they said, like, it's not required for startups. But at the same time, you have to see the positive things, like, what is happening. The governments are already into it in regulating the AI. Make sure, like, all controls are in place. And then safe models are available for the industry, and safe models are available for the public. So there are standards and procedures out there to make a model responsible AI and then deliver it to the customer.
Fantastic.
So SecureKloud has worked closely with large one of the large search engine provider. Closely worked with almost 6 years with them.
Yeah.
And we have been part of building the AI large language model for them. We actually built something called, like, rewarding model for them, which actually, like, helps to improve the results. Second thing is, like, we've done something like, evaluation of large language model. We've given this as a service to cloud providers. When you get the results, like, it has to be manually reviewed. You look for the accuracy in it. You need to see if it is creative or not. If it is crisp or is it very elaborate. If it is biased, like, gender bias, or, like, if it is talking about it, the data that has gone inside, like, based on the data, like, it could possibly give a biased result against a politician. So extensively manual review and then feedback is given to the model, and then the results have been improved. So
got it.
Really proud, like, our technology team have done tremendous job in terms of improving the results and seen, like, the results are not biased and safe.
Got it. Got it. And also, I think in this insight, I also wanted to share that we've been awarded the most innovative technology company recently, right? I think thanks to Jaykumar and the team, this is obviously for the audience. SecureKloud got awarded the most innovative technology company in the world. That wouldn't have been possible without the support of customers, strategic partners, collaborations, and so on and so forth. So we take a moment to thank all of you on that. Considering, Jaykumar, you're actually talking about data, I was talking to somebody from a cybersecurity, right? So I spent some small amount in cybersecurity in my overall experience. They further gave me a different dimension about data, right? They said that there is 3 types of data: data in rest, data in motion, and data in action, right? So when there is data in rest, that means it's residing in your computer, right? When data is in motion, that means you are trying to send it. When data is in action or when data is in work, that means you're working on the data. So there are three postures of data where you open up the channels and then you bring in the threat actors, which is nothing but the hackers inside, right? And I'm actually so happy to see that you have built a guardrail for the companies and for the enterprises. When we go and interact with our customers, we say, you know what, your data is impeccable. and it's completely protected with us. Not to worry, because we are HIPAA compliant, we are HITRUST compliant. At the same time, we have a lot of cybersecurity tools that we have built as well. So I'm cognizant of the time. So in the interest of the time, I think I'm going to move to the next question, Jaykumar. Considering that you lead the entire product development initiative for us globally, right? And I'm sure that you're the first person to know what's happening from the market. Then you come and play an evangelical role to us. But at the same time, what's running in your mind today, right? What are you seeing 3 months ahead? What are you seeing 6 months ahead? What are you going to build? What are you going to focus on? Some kind of, I'm sure that some technology roadmap are confidential and will be in the stealth mode, so you don't need to share all that to us. But nevertheless, some kind of a light that you can throw at a 45,000 feet, that what are you thinking as a product leader of building something in 1 quarter, a couple of quarters ahead?
So we talked about AI, we also talked about generative AI. One of the things that I want to convey is the AI development, or even deployment, going in for AI, the strategy, right, has changed now. As I told earlier, which took very long time, expensive, all those things have changed now. Previously we used to tell we need lots and lots of data. That is not required anymore. Okay, you don't need to create a model with a huge amount of data. That's not required. You don't need a very specialized skill, because we have lots and lots of pre-built models out there. You can quickly make available of these pre-built models and then develop it. And then today you can do programming using something, prompt engineering. You may be aware of it, using natural language, you will be able to get things done. So things have dramatically changed. So it is available for small and medium businesses. So as an organization, SecureKloud had been working in the last 10 years in artificial intelligence customers across different regions. Sorry, give me a second. So the current trend is they're seeing both cloud computing as well as artificial intelligence moving one another and going together. So people are already on cloud. The entire ecosystem is available, and then they can immediately take benefit of the AI. Similarly, those who want to get into AI, they are eager to get into cloud computing, cloud infrastructure to make available for them. So for SecureKloud, with experience of 10 years in artificial intelligence, and developed several products like FTH, QRH, several AI products. For SecureKloud, what we are very much committed on artificial intelligence. We have an R&D team to continuously look for new trends, new technologies, new products, even new versions and products. One of the activities we're continuously doing is benchmark. You see the major service providers out there. There are several services available. AI services, cloud services, data services, in-ops, managed services, similar things are. It's not necessarily one single cloud provider gives everything performs better in all the services.
Got it.
For SecureKloud is that benchmarking, which service performs better in which cloud provider. And not necessarily a cloud provider, but being open models, open source software. So constantly we do the R&D. We do a lot of benchmarking. And then we keep improving our products.
Got it.
It's all the generative AI is coming in, and then we worked on technologies like bag architecture, and human in the loop is already available. It's all email is going to be a triggering point, and then added an email assistant for Gmail output. We constantly keep improving our products. So that is making sure our technology services and our products are always updated and stay updated on the latest technology.
Fantastic. I think that's lovely, right? I think just to take a cue from you, yeah, I think you had a problem with your audio, but as I speak, you could you could set that up, right? I think that's really amazing, Jay Kumar, because the insight that you gave us rather, I'm sorry, considering the product development is a forefront of our company, and you and me are kind of privy considering we're executive leadership of the company. We know how many $1 million we spent last year on the product development, right? So I went and said, no, you know what, you're kind of giving so many million. So that's a fight I was doing with the CFO. But I think nevertheless, constantly innovating, constantly staying ahead of the curve makes you relevant in the market, right? And I think everybody is running faster. Everybody is running faster towards the market. So hence speed to the market is important. And me as a sales guy can take some pride, and I can brown nose myself and saying, give me a pin, give me a pistol, I can go and sell in the market. But that doesn't work, right? As long as you have a right product, relevant product, that's when you can really, really sell. So I think thank JK. As today the CIOs and CTOs and technology leaders like you are always in the constant move and the constant lookout of doing something new. But I know while they are constantly in the endeavor of doing something new, the board doesn't give them money. Let's be honest, right? They don't get millions and millions of dollars to just go buy product, right? That's why always a technology budget is just 8% of overall budget, right? Cybersecurity budget is 6% of overall budget, right? So we know about all that, but we all feel technology is the backbone of the organization. I know I can obviously empathize with the CIO and CTO community that how much struggle they do when they walk up to the board asking for money, right? But
Right.
in your insight as a technology leader, what is the advice that you would give or suggestion, I would say, to the CIOs and CTOs who have logged into this call because they are in the constant watch of cost optimization?
I think the very first thing that comes to my mind is like, modernization. There is, we built, today all applications are already available. There's no new application is required. Like, even 10 years before itself, all the sort of software applications were available. But then modernization is required, because as the company grows, like, you need to modernize their application. And one of the key thing is like, take the benefit of cloud, you know. Um, mm,
Yeah, agree.
Now that it's been embraced by several companies, like, if you still have things on premise, unless it is too simple and a very simple use case, there are lots and lots of reasons for people to look for cloud. And then, there are strategies like, lift and shift, and then re-architect, and then doing building the application. So because the reason is like, we see this as a complete ecosystem. We have one single, place where we have the infrastructure, we have a strategy for data, we have strategy for the security, we have the strategy for AI. Then it is advisable to move to cloud. And then, like, we can give a strategy on it, like, studying the environment and the. So basically, we can do like, the TCO can be calculated, the FinOps can be done, and then we can advise on, right strategy for moving to cloud. And then the other thing is like, the data part of it. Most of the customers, right, industries have already the structured data in place. Like, data means the SQL database is there, and then you have all the data in it. You do analytics out of it. But then, you need to look into like, your unstructured data. Your email is a big knowledge base. Your documents, your process documents, your guidelines, your product catalogs, your contracts, quotations, and several other things are all part of your assets. So together with your structured data, you need to create a database which is also having the unstructured data. So you need to have a strategy for it. So, if we want to go in for some information, we always go in for Google search. The Google search is one single text box. It doesn't have several text boxes or drop downs. any information you want, just go type it and get the information. So that should be one of the key requirements for every organization. You need to have something like that, right? You cannot have a different systems and then, going into several menus, accessing things. So aim for creating a knowledge base and then aim for creating a search functionality, which is going to be very beneficial at all levels in an organization. All that they do is when they want information, every information is available on Google for your own data, which is also very important. So why don't we build a Google kind of search for every company? All that they do is make use of the AI, natural language, go type, and then whether it is coming from your SQL database or is it coming from your invoices or from your timesheets or quotations, contracts, all they do is type and then get the information, relevant information. And then they get the link and then they jump onto the application.
Got it.
So even prior to getting into AI, I think bringing in the data, bringing in it in a proper format, and then deliver that as an asset to your own employees and then to customers is very important.
Got it.
Third thing is going for AI of it. You don't need to make a very big investment. All that you need to do is, but then there has to be a strategy. You need to come up with a roadmap. You need to come up with a strategy. And all that I would suggest, don't need to do any dramatic change there. You first crawl and then you walk and then run. That's how even large enterprises have a strategy. Okay. So from that perspective, I know there are budget constraints, but then the companies, the CIOs have to look for at least 2 use cases for AI and then engage with the technology company. The technology company have the in-depth knowledge on the technology side, right? Whereas the industries have the domain expertise, right? So better knowledge on all the business use cases might not have in-depth knowledge on the technology. So you need to get into a partnership with a technology company and then start developing a POC.
Like us, right?
Absolutely, yeah. POC is where you have to start and then not think very big.
Yeah.
The other thing is I told earlier, you take up a business cases that actually works for your backend operations. Make sure that things are working good and then take the use cases that will actually benefit the customer.
Got it.
Go in for modernizations, go in for data knowledge base, build a search capability for your organization, and then pick up a few use cases and then start building prototypes or proof of concepts.
Got it.
This will actually help because there are various levels in an organization. And then for us to make them understand, right, when you show it, then they accept it. Otherwise, it's all theories, right?
Understood.
When you show hey, this is how it works for our own data and for our own automation, this is how it works. Then they believe it and then they accept it. And then that way, AI can be penetrated in various departments.
Thank you, Jackman. I think thanks a lot. That was insightful. I think just to take a straw from your side, sometimes nature also plays his own role, right? I met one of the customer where they had the data center on the ground floor, right? When obviously rains played havoc and the entire ground floor was flooded and the data center was wiped out, which had storage servers, right? And then he came back running to us and saying, Venkat, you know what? I think I now resonate with what you said in terms of moving to cloud. Right? I'm going to move all my storage to cloud because finally the data center, you can't keep it on the 10th floor or 15th floor because it requires a lot of civil infrastructure to build a data center. Mostly the data centers are on the ground floor, right? It's what I have seen. And I think that's one which is obviously the takeaway, moving to cloud, and we do it amazingly well. And we have a phenomenal managed services offering where we also do consulting to ensure that currently what you're spending on on-prem, is that wiser or it's not wiser? Can we move to cloud? If we move to cloud, I think what's the total cost of ownership? I think that's a webinar that we're going to do next as we speak. And also one more is everybody is looking for automation, right? Everybody is looking for modernization, automation rather, sorry. is obviously the buzzword every CIO goes through. But I think, yeah, but I think the CIO is also like a mother, right? Because he has some food. Food is nothing but money given. But you know what? He has to spend it across the board. He has to feed everyone, starting from a sales to a technology to a finance team to a manufacturing team and so on and so forth. I think I absolutely empathize the CIOs and CTOs who are actually present in this forum because you guys take care of the technology. You guys ensure the data is safe. You guys ensure the organization is safe. I think more than anything else today, I think CIOs are also running towards ensuring the reputation of the organization is protected, right? When you're hacked, it's not only you lose the data, but if you're a listed company, your share prices go down, whereas your valuation of the company goes down, right? More important, suddenly $100 billion company could turn into 100 billion could turn into 100 million, right? So I think we are in a very fast paced environment where technology is really kicking in at every walk of life. But at the same time, all of us should be cognizant of the fact that we are vulnerable at the same time as well. So having said that, Jaykumar, any other closing comments from your side? I know that we are kind of running against time. We have a 9 minutes to go to open up a Q&A session. Anything that you want to have as a closing comment before we pass on to Sudipta for the Q&A?
Yeah, I just want to recollect, we all need to understand that AI is more affordable. AI is going to be everywhere. Today it is not there, but soon AI is going to be there in every walk of life. And AI is really super powerful. We need to understand, what is happening at the government level. I recently read, China is building its own large language model, using its own infrastructure, not using NVIDIA or Intel, it's using its own Huawei chips. Now, last week, we must have seen, our government of India have initiated a program, with spearheaded by IIT Bombay. We started building a large language model, which is going to be a multimodal model supporting multiple languages. So the recognition, the benefits are understood at all levels. And the governments have already started looking for opportunities and, started initiatives on that.
Great.
What we are seeing today is just large language model generative AI could be every 6 months they are going to get improved, and it's going to be more and more powerful, doing a lot more things, and it's going to be more and more safer. And at one point of time, when we talked about multimodal models are coming in, we are going to see robots having all these powered robots are going to be there.
Got it.
Which is not just taking the text and then speaking.
Got it.
It's going to see, it is going to talk, it is going to listen, it is going to feel. The future is going to be really excited. And I am super excited, we are going to embrace the future with AI. AI is going to be each one of our companions. That's what I would like to say. It's no more an assistant, it's going to be a companion for us and helping us in, various other things. So let's
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, Jaykumar. I think it was really wonderful listening to you. I think from my side, all I can say is we're in the right place at the right time, right? Considering SecureKloud has been the pioneer in terms of technology trend setting. We have a host of products that we've built from a cloud, from an AI, from an ML, from a SaaS, from an intelligent document processing, large language modeling. All I can say is I think we are in the right time at the right place. And yes, I think market is getting more regulated. Indian government has formed a AI advisory panel and council to ensure AI is not used in a very illegitimate manner. Rather, AI is used in safer and obviously in a very regulated manner from the market perspective, irrespective of whether it touches B2C or it touches B2B as well. And also considering that we have a layer of managed services that's getting built. I think one of the points that I wanted to end the note here is that every organization is today running towards cost optimization, right? And if you are looking in for a cost optimization, turn into us because we have a lovely managed services model, which kind of helps us to save the cost over and above implementing the latest technologies as well. So without much ado, thank you each and everyone for coming in to the webinar. I hope this was useful We would be hosting series of webinars like this in different topics involving leaders like Jaykumar. And I hope that you enjoy those as well. And wish you guys in advance a happy Diwali and have a great day and a great month ahead. Over to you, Sudipta.
Thank you so much, Venkat. That was really great to hear both of you speak on something very useful and very insightful. For the audience out here, for the participants, I'll just like to open the session. The Q&A session is live now. You can drop your queries.
And I also know some ground rules on a very jovial manner. I also know some of the internal guys are logged in. So guys, the questions is for customers, but not for you, right? So don't post any questions, internal SecureKloud employees. Yeah, sorry about it. Over to you, Sudipta.
Yeah. So if we'll just wait for 2 to 3 minutes here. We'll just wait if any queries are there, anything out here. So just feel free to drop anything. Any feedback, it might not be a question, just a feedback of the entire session, what you felt about it, or what you like us to work on, because we have lined up, few sessions for the, future as well. So we like to deliver best as much as we can, and we like to bring to you the best of SecureKloud. So any feedback or anything you like to share with us, just go ahead. I think we can also have this entire conversation going on LinkedIn. Also, we can post after session kind of thing, and we can get the feedback. I think everyone is pretty much sorted here. They, I think, heard both of you. They are very
That makes
much
our life easier. That makes our life easier a bit. So,
yes. So
anyway,
I think
thanks.
yes, I think we have a great audience out here. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. We had a great, session here. And we will like to, tell you that we have more awesome stuff coming up, planned up. So stick around, follow Secure Cloud for the, latest updates, and stay tuned. We will not, fall short on that. So stay tuned. And like Venkan said, wishing you a very happy Diwali in advance. The festive seasons is around the corner, so enjoy your best. And happier times are coming up. So let's go ahead and join the upcoming sessions. Don't miss them. So because we'll be discussing more upon important topics, informative things that are going to really help the industries across various platforms. So
Thanks a
I'd
lot.
like to
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'd
Go
like
ahead,
to
Sudipta.
just end the session right now. Thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you, Jayakumar. See
Thank
you pretty
you,
soon.
everyone.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Have a great day,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.
Join us in shaping the future of digital transformation. Visit our website to learn more and connect with our team.